Just yesterday, I did around $8,000 in cash collected from these 4 acquisition systems that I'm going to be breaking down within this video. Now, within this video, you're going to learn my exact appointment setting system that makes me 8K to 10K days. Why booking qualified appointments, if you haven't already fucking noticed, has never been harder than it is right now because you aren't doing this one thing. Now, if you're sitting there and you're like, you know what, I'm sending these fucking cold DMs, I'm sending these emails, no one's really replying, this feels dead as shit, I may be booking like one appointment if I'm lucky. There's a very, very specific reason, and I talk to hundreds of agency owners every single month, and I can see that it's never been more difficult to book qualified appointments because people aren't doing this one thing, which I'm going to be going through, and how you can set up a 3-step system to book high-ticket calls within 48 hours of watching this video. If you stay to the end as well, not only are you going to get a ton of fucking value, but you're going to learn how you can win a free trained appointment setter from myself. So I'm going to be going over how I did this and go from there. So there's 4 specific systems that I want to run through within this kind of like trading video. 1 is outbound teams, 2 is organic, 3 is paid ad systems, and 4 is inbound setting systems. Now, I want to start with cold outreach because that's what I guess most of you right now are struggling with, is getting replies, actually getting anyone fucking interested and not feeling like kind of a dead end. Cool. So when you're analyzing outreach, you have to analyze 2 things. 1 is quality of outreach and the other is quantity of outreach. Now, you need to understand that quality and quantity amplify each other. There is no what is better than the other. I can tell you that quality is probably a little bit better, but you shouldn't be analyzing it like that. You should be analyzing how can I just make these 2 work for each other and amplify each other. Now, I will say business owner A can send 2,000 plus outreach messages and business owner B can send maybe 200 plus, but business owner B can see a better return on input due to the quality of outreach in the micro variables that outreach include: your profile, your script, your approach, your niche, your speed in the market timing. Is the market just like burnt out of what you're selling and actually very, very hard to sell it? So how do you do quality overall? Okay. Now, when you're setting up outbound campaigns, there's a couple things that you need straight away. Now, step 1 is actually getting your outreach assets ready. Now, I see so many people simply dive into sending a ton of cold DMs without any sort of strategy of what they're doing. So the first thing you need is a tracking sheet that provides you the real insight so you can have real data, real numbers, and then reverse engineer. Because if you can see the exact data behind every single script, behind every single body, behind every single hook that you send out to the market, you can start to see patterns. Because human psychology is human psychology at the end of the fucking day. If some people are replying to a specific script compared to others, then you may have found a winner, or you may know that you need to dump a certain script, okay? So before you start outreach, make sure you actually have tracking in place so you can actually view what's going on. Because if you send 50 DMs per day, which I guess some of you are sending right now, just like on Instagram, that's the only channel that you're actually sending DMs on, and you're wondering why you're not getting any results. If you're sending 50 DMs per day and you have no tracking behind that, you don't actually know what's happening. Okay, you can't tell me, okay, out of this DMs per day, what is the conversion percentage? Like, out of how many people are you booking onto appointments? Out of how many people are you actually getting interested in your offer? And if you don't know these numbers, then by nature, it's just very, very hard to scale, okay? Now, the second thing is the scripts that you're going to be leveraging, and there I said the multiple scripts that you're going to be leveraging, okay? So you need to know the winning structures. If you want to copy a structure that's working right now, you can just pause and like this video, and you can come back to this specific second, and you can try out this script here. Now, understand that the market changes every day, every hour, and you must leverage what is winning right now. Now, if this YouTube video has around 1K, 2K views, then maybe switch up the script just a little bit, change a few words, don't go word by word. But you have to understand that the market changes all the time. So if you aren't watching up-to-date videos, not videos from 2023, not videos from 2024, don't even watch my fucking videos, right? From like years ago. Because data will have changed, information would have changed, okay? Then you're cooked, pretty much, okay? So once you've got your tracking in place, once you've got the winning scripts in place, step 2 is picking the niches that you're going to go into the market and start acquiring. Now, what I recommend, if you are someone who hasn't really got a specific niche they're going into right now, then I suggest doing this exact framework, okay? And that is split testing the niches and the scripts that you are leveraging, okay? And then having them in a tracking sheet so you can see which one is working. Because I can guarantee you right now, you aren't favorable to a specific niche. You just kind of want to make money. You're like, look, whatever niche puts $3,000 in my bank account tomorrow, I'll just go and do, which is fine. Okay. So when you track and when you actually split test niches, what you're going to do is you're going to get data faster. Okay. So it's not going to take you ages of 1 month going in a specific niche and then changing niches all the time. You don't want to be like this. What you actually want to do instead is try to test multiple niches at one time, because if you, for example, tested 5 niches within a month, and then this meant to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that takes you 1 month of time compared to trying 1 niche per month, well then in 6 months you would have tried 1 niche, 6 niches instead of in 1 month tried 6 niches. Okay, I see that so many people go wrong with that. You might be guilty of that right now, especially when you don't have any client results. You don't really know what you want to go into, or you're not really bothered yet. Okay, so split test the niches, and once you've found a winning formula in the sense that a niche is working, a script is working, an approach is working, build on top of that, build content assets behind that, etc., which we're going to be going through in this video as well. Okay, now for actually split testing niches, what you want to do is you want to have multiple accounts that can split test different niche. Now, I've just said this, don't just make a random account and start sending DMs, because you won't get any replies. You'll be like, you know what, that Luke Jackson guy, he said fucking send some DMs and it didn't work, okay? You need to do it in a very, very specific way, which I'm going to be running through. Now, you need 3 very, very important things if you want to see any sort of replies within your Instagram. One is building credibility assets, such as, for example, client results. This is pretty basic information. I'm just going to run through it very, very quickly. Building some sort of personal connection with your clients. I see so many people, again, message from media accounts or agency accounts, or they're a coach, but they don't have any sort of content, or they don't have any sort of authority, and they expect a winning script to somehow save them from, not scaling and not being able to pay their bills. Okay. Then actual nurture assets. It surprises me how many times people come to me and they buy from me and they invest into my company because they're like, Luke, I saw you on YouTube for like 4 months, and I trust you a lot. I've seen the masterminds, all this kind of shit. And then they're like, oh, but I don't think I can build that. Of course you can, okay? And that's what you need to do if you actually want to see real results as well, okay? So within one account, you can split test a single niche, okay? Now, within your second account, which we like to call growth accounts, you can split test different niches. Now, on these specific growth accounts, you want to link back to your primary account, as you want to let people know that this is actually your normal account, as naturally your growth accounts will look a little bit scammy. You can type this one up on Instagram, maybe on your phone right now, and you'll see that you can just kind of tell it's not my real account. There isn't as much engagement, and I wouldn't post results like that, etc. But for this, you want to leverage direct result assets, as you're selling a B2B kind of like offer to a business owner. They don't really care about anything else other than just being nurtured up to potential results. Now, if you don't have results, then try and leverage a contractor, or try and leverage a media buyer and leverage their results in whatever service you're doing, whether it's appointment setting, leverage Excel's results, or whether it's a media buyer, leverage their ad results, or whether it's a content editor, leverage their results. If you're a coach, then obviously you need some sort of your own results. If it's a transformation that you've been through yourself, which if you aren't doing that as a coach, then you shouldn't really have a coaching business anyway. And then authentic lifestyle. Okay, so people actually nurture up to you. I had one agency client paid me around $5,000, who literally bought because of my Vegas post. If you scroll down to the bottom of my Instagram, there's a post in Vegas, and he was going to that hotel next week, which literally just was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I'm going to jump on a call, and he ended up paying me $5,000. True story, genuinely. So that's how it can be important. So don't overlook it. And then creating a nurturing ecosystem, like I said. So linking people back to the main account, where you actually have your main authority assets. As you can see, this account here is a lot more believable. I have the verified tick. I have more content assets. And this helps me tremendously when I'm outreaching to get agency clients. I can't stress this enough. I've said this for years on my channel, and for some reason, so many people ignore it, and then they argue why they can't get results, okay? So that's what you want to do in order to split test niches. Now, number 4, is automating and having a structured sales process in place, okay? So if you are sending these DMs yourself, then I can almost guarantee you will never scale, because as a CEO, okay, so you run the company, and then as someone like a setter, which we place for clients, okay, now your job, you've got multiple different streams of variables you're attached to within the business. Maybe you're attached to content, you're attached to finances, you're attached to, delivery, you're attached to your network, you're attached to maybe your mentor, you're attached to so many different things, so many different variables that you have to focus on inside of your business. Whereas one setter, okay, is focused on one thing, and that is booking appointments. They're not focused on anything else other than booking appointments. They're not focused on anything else other than understanding the data, messaging the leads, following up. They're not focused on anything else inside of the business. So the first thing that you need to do if you want to truly outsource outreach and actually start getting results is hire a trained setter ASAP. Because I can guarantee, as a CEO yourself, you'll send outreach, you miss a day, you'll send outreach, you miss a day, you'll miss a day, you'll miss a day, you'll send outreach, and at the end of the month, you actually haven't sent that much outbound quantity, okay? Now, when it comes to hiring outbound appointment setters, what you want to do is you want to head over to onlinejobs.ph. So I just type it up here, onlinejobs.ph. And you want to hire and train 2 virtual assistant VAs to essentially become your appointment setters who can work on commission or at least very, very cheap. Because if you are at the beginning, if you don't have many clients, then you want to obviously keep cash flow, quite low, right? Maybe you don't have that much money to invest into proper setters. If you do have the cash flow, I just invest in getting a killer straight away as you're going to book appointments like that. But if you are at the beginning and you don't really have much cash flow at all, then go ahead and hire just a VA to do the outreach for you. Now, with these setter inputs, what you want to do is at least 75 DMs targeted per day on each account, around 25 follow-ups, connection points, sending over assets, and obviously booking appointments. So what do I mean by connection points? Well, these are points where essentially you'll send over, for example, YouTube assets, okay, if they have an objection, or, maybe you send over a client result, etc., okay? Now, you'll start the setter within 2 to 7 days, really, just getting them ramped up, just getting them trained on your offer, your company, who you're targeting, all that kind of stuff. And then once you've connected with a client, you want to do a very specific style of selling VSL. Now, when I say the word VSL, many people think like Iman Gadzhi style, talking to the fucking camera, looking like this, sending your VSL. This isn't how you should be doing your VSLs. This isn't what's actually going to work. What's going to work is understanding you're selling to B2B business owners. If you're watching this, you're probably not selling B2C, other than if you're a coach. And if you're a coach, I just recommend doing an inbound setter, and having them very, very highly trained. But if you are more of like an agency owner, if you're a service provider, then you want to do more of a service walkthrough video. You want to obviously break down value, etc. Show every single layer of your service. If you need help building out your offer, then you can go to my last video that I posted on my YouTube channel where I break down how to do this offer. Now, from this video, they'll watch the video. It should be around 4 minutes long to be specific. So 4 minutes long there. And they're going to ask to jump on a call. Okay, so they're going to book in a call. And this is where, obviously, you should have at least, if I was going off percentages, at least a 40% close rate on B2B prospects that you book from VSLs, just because they've already viewed the VSL. It's kind of like a mini sales call. Like, you're pretty much just going to go for an extended version of this on the sales call anyway. So if they have jumped on the call, then they're going to be pretty warmed up and nurtured to what you do. Okay. Now, with outbound quantity and outbound like cold outreach itself, that can get you to your first 5 to 10, maybe even 15K a month, but it isn't as scalable as one I'm going to show you right now, which is more tapping into paid ad systems. Now, before I go into kind of paid ads, what's very, very important on the paid ads is having this organic authority assets on the back end. Now, if you're pitching a B2B just like service offer, whether you're helping consultants with content or whether you're helping solar companies or whatever you're doing, if you're more of a B2B offer, then you don't necessarily need a ton of different back-end assets. You can just start running paid traffic off the bat. So this is exactly how I do it, how it cash collects me 8K days, okay? So what you can do initially is boost your, to get custom audience with organic, okay? So how Facebook works is essentially you can either run ads off custom audience, or you can run ads off interest-based targeting, okay? Now, custom audience is obviously going to be a little bit more warm, as essentially you're saying, hey, Facebook, so there's this demographic of audience here. This is what they look like. This is what they sound like. This is what they're interested in. This is their age. This is kind of like what they search and all the kind of like the cookie pixels online. Go find me more people like them. Okay, so if you already have an Instagram follower, if you already have an Instagram following full of entrepreneurs and full of infopreneurs, if you are in the info space or if you're in the agency space, whatever, then your ad should fucking print, okay? Because you already have a good custom audience to run off. Now, if you do not have a good custom audience, then what you want to do is you want to start running boost ads to actually acquire this audience, okay? So you want to have targeted content with, you know, kind of like the content that you create. And then these are the best ads to kind of run off to build this audience, as it's more like breakdown. I wouldn't suggest any lifestyle stuff, more like towards your ICP, ideally with a call out. Now, if you have a custom audience, then what you want to do and what we do is run a custom audience of my last 100-day profile visits. As I run the content, I boost this content, I get more profile visits of ideal customers, and then I can run a lead campaign, which is the most optimal Facebook campaign you can run. Now, if you don't know how Facebook ads work, essentially what you're trying to do is nurture the shit out of your pixel. When your Facebook pixel is very, very optimized to understand your ICP, your campaigns will just be fucking insane. We're running campaigns right now, they're doing like $4 or $5 cost per lead, which is pretty good considering it's like a B2B, very, very sophisticated market. The offer I sell is very, very competitive, right? So you can run custom audiences, and what you can do is you can have a 100-day profile engage of people who have engaged with my Instagram following. Obviously, you can do this for yourself or for your clients. And then lookalike audience as well. So like I said, essentially telling Facebook, hey, there's this audience that I want to find more people like. Go find me more of those people within the market, okay? Now, what we can do is then, for example, obviously run cold traffic there. When it comes to actually scripting the ads, the first thing that you want to do is look at a few competitors within your market and essentially transcribe every single ad that they were running for a long time or repeated in different angles, as you know that was the winner and you can replicate it. So if you go to Facebook ads library, what you can do is you can search up all the ads of your competitors and kind of see what they're running and kind of like just essentially model successful ads that are already winning. Now, it's life. You don't want to just, come up with new different angles all the time. But what's very, very important is you have a look at ads that they were running for a very long while, okay? So they're running for a bit, maybe months on end, or that they replicate a certain angle. So whether they said, for example, appointments, and that was the kind of angle they were leveraging, or just whatever the pain point was, okay? Now, when it comes to scripting ads, again, you can like this video and take a screenshot here. This is how you'll formulate and how you kind of script your ad structures. This works a little bit better if you're it works in two ways. If you're kind of a B2B agency and you're targeting B2B businesses, then go run ads to B2B businesses. If you're more of a coach, then this works very, very well for more of a consumer audience as well. And then what you'll do is you'll kind of like, because you don't have much data on what ads are specifically working, you're going to write 4 hooks and 2 body structures, as you can see here. So a couple different hooks, a couple different structures that I run within one ad campaign. So I tell Facebook, hey, use all of these creatives, maybe spend $100 per day on this budget. If you don't have $100 per day, then you can do 20, you can do 25 until you start seeing sales come in. And Facebook will delegate which ads are having the best CPM. They're just being engaged with the most overall. So we can obviously scale those campaigns. Then after the first maybe 7 days, you can start turning certain ads off after you've got a little bit of data about that, okay? And that's how you run ads to direct cold traffic. But at this point, even on a cold traffic ad, the lead has zero trust into you, but may be interested, okay? So they're even going to take 2 paths. One, they're just going to put in their details to opt in and collect email and SMS, as you can see here, or they're going to start following you, okay? And this is where content and setters will essentially take over, okay? So if someone's seen me from a cold traffic ad, and this happens all the fucking time, and then it'll be like, okay, cool, but I don't know you yet, I don't trust you yet, I haven't seen your client results or whatever, okay? Then they can start following me and they can go through a little bit of content. So as I say, they've followed me from a traffic ad and now they're commenting high ticket. Okay, now I'm sending over a YouTube asset. This is my business partner. I forgot to kind of like change the video over. And then you can send them over to a certain piece of YouTube asset to essentially objection handle about your offer and obviously just nurture them to your offer, kind of your authority, etc., etc. Now, once I've gone through the YouTube assets, what you can do is you can also obviously put retargeting ads in front of them, which again, call out your ICP, a little bit of social proof, a little bit of kind of like who you are, show some client results, and then swipe up to maybe a sales page or a direct DM. So you can run multiple different funnels, whether you're running kind of a DM funnel or a landing page funnel, whatever it is you can run, okay? Now, the point is, you don't just want to rely on directly selling people cold from a single ad because they will take a little bit of a process to nurture. If you think about all the purchases that you've made towards a guru or towards maybe someone online, you probably watched them for a couple months. You probably just didn't like, I'm just going to buy it straight away. You probably watched them a little bit, probably got a little bit nurtured, etc., etc. Okay. Now, if people do go into the funnel, then what they can do is obviously they're going to be hit with a VSL and an after the opt-in page, which they can watch the video. They can be a little bit more nurtured. They can have a look at the client results. So this is really, really important. And then they can be structured into an email retargeting campaign where we can essentially just hit them with touch points after touch points, okay? Going over big results, providing a ton of value, having the free training in place. Now, what I've genuinely found nowadays with kind of like just marketing in general, because there is so many funnels, because there's so many competitors within the market, it's extremely cliche to say, but just be different. Just have like fucking max value, actually just help people out within your setting process, anything like that. If you're doing appointment setting now and you're very, very direct, I can guarantee you're going to get aired over and over again, literally. Cool. So within the opt-in, when someone opts in, you can create an agency or consulting company kind of Discord where you'll be able to see if leads opt in, the target, the name, the email, etc., etc. And then they can either book straight off of the form. So if they want to book via the email, there's a link to go there. If they want to book after they've hit the VSL page, again, they can book from there. If a setter is going to talk to them, then they can book from there, etc., etc. There's too many touch points, whether it's a phone call, whether it's an SMS, for the lead to kind of escape, okay? Now, what's even better about that, when you get emails, you can get phone numbers, you just create obviously a list. You want to have a massive, massive list. Alex Becker credits that to his massive success online as well. But you also build a custom audience of ideal leads, okay? So as you're running this, you can now have 2,000 plus leads or 3,000 plus leads. You can then revamp your custom audience list to find even more qualified people, okay? Now, what's really, really important about this is actually having very, very fucking good inbound setters and dialers, which we place for our clients to kind of build out this entire process so they can be very, very dialed in when it comes to speed to lead, when it comes to actually messaging and doing those kind of stuff as well, okay? So let's say a lead enters the CRM. Let's say you're running your ads. Say you got your outbound rolling, okay? That's in the back end. You're booking calls. You're making money from the outbound. You're rolling your ads, right? I recommend opt-in ads, just to be specific. Boom, okay? So an ad opts in, get sent into the Discord. Your setters will see that and they'll call the leads straight away. What they're doing is they're sending over YouTube assets. They're sending over client results. They're sending over, they're booking appointments, okay? So the setter will call the lead and SMS the lead, ideally within 2 to 5 minutes. If you can have that very, very structured, you can book a call within the next 24 hours of watching this video. You could actually stop watching this video, like the video, and then comment if you found this valuable. But you could do that essentially and then book an appointment within 48 hours if you set this funnel up like that, okay? Or you can book a call and let us do it for you, okay? So what you want to do is, because you start getting data from this funnel, you start seeing what objections you're getting, and you want to build objection handling assets, okay? So analyze within your sales calls, what are the 3 biggest objections that you get on sales calls? Over and over and over again. The objections that you just get, everyone says the objection, it's exactly the same. There's probably going to be 2 to 3 objections that you get most of the time. Write those down and create a video which handles that exact objection. So for us in our company, it's really like people have self-limited beliefs about selling high ticket, because obviously we're all about selling more like high ticket services, high ticket programs. So people are just like, bro, I've got no results. I can't charge high ticket, which is bullshit. You can charge high ticket, whatever. So people, about that, I send them over this video. I don't even want to negotiate with them. I don't even want to, try and argue my point. I'm just like, bro, go watch that video, okay? Just go watch it and come back to me, okay? How do you book calls of ads? I send them over this video. Do your methods even work? I send them over this video. Okay, so video, where a little bit like you're watching this video here, where you're just objection handling, okay? So right now, this is like a to-do list. Think about your 2 to 3 main objections you got in sales calls and instantly create a video going over this, okay? Now, your setter will deploy these correct assets because there is going to be people in this funnel that do not fucking buy straight away. That is just how life works. Not everyone's going to throw money at you, okay? But within the SMS conversations, within the DM conversations, on call, you can refer them these assets to just objection handle whatever thing that they've got in their head as to why they can't pay you money. Okay, so that's something you can do because you need to understand how kind of like leads work and buying cycles. Okay, when you get new lead flow in your pipeline, they're going to be cold. They don't really know who you are. They don't really like and trust you, etc. What you want to do from there is increase your touch points. So having an actual value message off the bat. Now, so many people think that they do this, but instead they really text someone like, hey, how's your business going? And like, they're just not valuable at all. They're just really, really silly and no one replies to you, okay? You can have YouTube content, a little bit like this. You can have client results. You can have story sequences. Now, within 3 days or 2 weeks, if you're selling more of like a real, like almost like money back guarantee B2B offer, then people can just book straight off the ad. But even then, you want to keep in touch with your leads. I guarantee you right now, how many leads do you have in the pipeline? How many leads you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to call that person because like he had a really positive conversation last week. If the answer is fucking zero, if you're sitting there like, Luke, I'm not going to lie, like I don't really have anyone in the pipeline, then you've clearly been doing this fucking wrong. You need to keep tabs on everybody, okay? Because there's infinite leads, but there isn't infinite leads you can sell every single month, okay? So level 2 is the nurturing process, right? And then they're ready to book. They're ready to book and they're ready to buy, okay? So they watch the VSL, they receive value from you, and they actually like you because you've shown that you're a little bit different in whatever you're doing. You're actually like positioning a good offer, and they're nurtured and ready to buy, okay? So this coincides with the ad process. Everything here coincides. If you have all 4 of these dialed in, you're going to make a lot more money. Okay. Now, the 4th is having content assets, like I said, in place. And there's very, very specific types that you want to have. Like I've already gone through, you want to have objection handling assets. Okay. So, and by the way, you can even send these over. For example, when the prospect books a call, you can send them over email assets of these YouTube videos. Okay, so before your call, they're going to watch exact videos breaking down the concerns, breaking down the objections they might have. You can also have authority assets, okay? That just obviously increase trust, increase authority. Ideally, client interviews. A lot of people think that just like screenshots of what their clients have done is like good social proof, but it isn't really. Like when someone's actually just standing there, maybe even primarily in real life, it's just a lot more social proof. Okay, so like screenshotting your client win is cool, but like no one really cares about like, oh, 1 million views and you screenshot. That could be anyone. Okay. Ideally a client interview, so you can use it in retargeting ads as well. So for example, this ad here, you can have as actual like an interview process of them kind of going over an objection handling for them, because obviously when you do it, it's going to be a little bit biased. But if one of your clients has said, yep, well, the setters work straight away or whatever on a retargeting ad, then you're just using someone else to objection handle possible objections as well. Okay. Now, another thing you can do is obviously the Instagram organic positioning. So leveraging the common CTAs, driving people into the DMs when again, your setter is activated, having links in, having the right structure in your bio. For example, if you have a look at this here, if they go to YouTube, they need a little bit more nurturing, right? If people actually want to learn a little bit about my offer, then they can go here. Right? And again, the exact same process. They go here. Okay, cool. The inbound setter is notified. They go straight into the CRM. Where am I? Go straight into the CRM, SMS, DM. Okay, we hear the objection. Okay, bang, asset. Okay, they're ready in a couple of weeks. Boom, sell. Okay? Like this is how you need to operate at a very high level. Okay? Then you can create authentic connection and kind of like lifestyle assets as well. But mainly what you want to focus on is more of these objection handling assets to actually cash collect 10K in a single day. And my clients use this exact process where if I go here to have big cash collected days, this is in British pounds. I believe this is around 6K US. This is around maybe 7K US-ish. So this shit works, okay? And I really do believe that this is the only thing that works, because if you are just leveraging the outdated methods of sending these like terrible cold DMs with no structure, with no content assets, then you are possibly cooked, because this market is fucking massive. I don't know if you've known and seen, but the competition is more than fucking ever, okay? So if you want us to do this exact system for you, implement these exact full acquisition systems, then you can check out a little bit more below, check out my client interviews and book a call. Other than that, just go run this and you'll make way more money in what you're doing. And I hope that provided a ton of value. If it did, obviously comment and I'll make more of these videos, and we'll talk next time. Have a good one.